I'm speaking again with Ofra Yeshua Lyth. She's currently on a book tour of the United States to provoke discussion of her new book, The Case for a Secular New Jerusalem, a memoir. Lyth is a former journalist for the Israeli paper Ma'ariv, a writer and activist in the One Democratic State movement, and at the moment she's in New York City. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Stanley.
You wrote a piece several months ago on Mondoweiss about several Israeli court decisions. Now, to clear the air, you were a party to the first court case. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. It has been a very long court case, which took about 14 years to have the final verdict in the Israeli Supreme Court, moved from several courts. So it was like a hot potato the courts didn't want to rule about, but they did eventually.
And a number of people, including yourself, who have Israeli citizenship rights, asked to be declared Israeli nationals. Now, in the U.S., people will sometimes say they're Italian American or Polish American, but it doesn't have any legal meaning. Why does it matter what nationality you are in Israel?
This is an excellent question, and this is exactly the question we were asking. Really, that the situation made every person have a different nationality. We thought this was an undemocratic kind of bureaucracy, which is really in the heart of many of Israel's problems. Just to give you an example, the Israeli state attorney said that our court action, our demand, is undermining the infrastructure of the state. This was their answer. So it is a very important issue in the Israeli state. It all has to do with being a Jewish state and giving Israeli Jewish nationals privileges that are not enjoyed by other nationals.
And you have a nationality law, is that right?
We have several nationality laws. We have, it's basically, there are two kinds of citizenships. There is a citizenship which is accorded to people by the right of return. There is a law of the right of return, and this is really a euphemism for being Jewish. And every other Israeli citizen has their citizenship by right of residency. And these are two very different brands of citizenship, which are based on a nationality. And the nationality is registered in the population registry, which is held by the Ministry of the Interior.
So a bunch of you got together, went to court. It lasted a long time, and then the court, you wanted to be declared an Israeli national. So what did the High Court finally decide?
The High Court finally decided there was no such thing as Israeli nationality, which we think is a shame. You know, we still want to continue and fight for our case, but I think a state which says it doesn't have a nationality which is enjoyed by all its citizens has got a real problem. You know, I show in presentations that in my Israeli passport says Israeli nationality because it indicates citizenship. But we all have to carry Israeli IDs, which are in Hebrew, issued by the Ministry of the Interior. And there is all the indications of our different nationalities. Altogether, we found that the Israeli state recognizes about 130 or 25 different nationalities. None of them is an Israeli nationality.
So you lost that case. Now, in your article, you talk about how this really affects people with the Bedouin in the Negev desert. Could you detail that?
I think it affects, well, let us say it affects every Israeli citizen who has not got a Jewish nationality. I think Amira Haas wrote a good article in Haaretz not long ago, and where with information that I didn't know about. For example, every Israeli national who is not Jewish, who is not a citizen by right of return, if they leave the country for over 7 years, they might have their citizenship revoked. And the same goes to all kind of property rights. Some land is recognized as land owned by the Jewish National Fund, which got it from the state. There are human rights associations have discovered that there are about 55 Israeli laws and regulations passed, and there are more in the making, which are discriminatory against non-Jewish nationals.
But what about those Bedouin in the Negev, and they're taking their land and they're giving it to that other category of Israeli citizens? Did you want to talk about
the legal basis here is there again. It's everything to do with the Jewish National Fund claiming the land is national land. National land means that it's not owned by the people who have actually lived on it for the last 100 years. And yes, when a new settlement is being built on the same land, it is only Jewish nationals that are invited to live in these settlements.